Welcome back to the Zero Weakness Podcast, where we talk about how to be a better lifter, how to be a better coach, and everything in between. Make sure you subscribe and enjoy.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Zero Weakness Podcast.
God damn it.
Our podcast is sponsored by the lovely people at Establishment Coffee. So if you want 25% off your order and free shipping, head to establishmentcoffee.com.au and use the code 025. Good morning, fam.
Hello.
Thank you
Good
so
morning.
much for doing that intro.
You're welcome,
Brilliant.
James.
Volunteered and everything.
Wish you'd share it with the rest of us. What have we been up to? Actually, no. What are we grateful for?
CJ.
Oh, that's cute.
Don't
Oh.
do me first. I have not thought about it.
No, your answer's going to be Sydney.
Mm.
Or church friends or your car.
Yeah. I'm grateful for fifth gear on the motorway.
Sixth.
Whoa. Oh, relax, man.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, I'm grateful for the ability to play music. When I was a kid, my mum knew that I always loved music. I was always jumping around dancing to music. So she was like, you need to learn an instrument and you won't regret it when you're older. And she, as a typical Asian mum, wanted me to learn piano. But none of the music I listened to had piano in it. Now I regret it because I love a lot of like Coldplay and a lot of, but I learnt the drums. And since like with the ability to play the drums, it's actually, I never thought in my wildest dreams this would happen, but I would get sent like this weekend. I just got asked to play drums in Sydney. So it was like a last minute fly in because they didn't have a drummer for Easter, which is sort of a very big event in the Christian.
How did they not have one? They all just go on holiday?
Well, we've now got 3 campuses in Sydney. So we've got the main one in the Shire, and one in the West. And they didn't have one in the West, so they sent me out to the West. Yeah, which was so cool. But yeah, they put me up in Blacktown, in the heart of the West.
Very cozy.
Very safe.
You would have blended right in.
That's what everyone said, yeah.
Is that like a dangerous area or something?
It's kind of the hood.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of Filipinos in Blacktown,
So
though.
many.
Big time.
I didn't know that.
You would have loved it too. They all drive WRXs.
Yeah, it's true. The car scene was nice, but yeah, so many. On the Saturday night, I went to like a buffet for dinner, and there was like, I would say maybe 40% were Filipinos.
Nice.
And the rest were like other Asians and Islanders. And yeah, I was like, gosh, everyone's brown here. It's pretty cool.
Do you know what's weird, though? The Western Sydney Filipinos are different, though, eh?
They
all
are.
got like the rat's tails. They all wear the TNs.
Yeah.
What? They're different too.
You mean like the local one we got here? Yeah, so so grateful that I can play music. I love it.
Nice.
Bridget.
I am grateful for this job. I was thinking about it over the long weekend. Any other job that I've had, if I had 4 days off and had to go back to work, I would have dreaded it. But I'm always so happy coming back in here. So, yeah, I'm grateful for this job. I love it.
Well, we're grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you guys.
Keep the engine running.
That is actually a good point, Gidge.
Yeah.
I'll just double down on that. You know when we do the comps and we have to work like 7 days straight or 2 weeks straight or whatever it is, it doesn't it's not a chore. Like,
Doesn't feel like
it's a
work.
pain in the fucking ass. Those long ass Saturdays.
I was going to say, what comps are you going to? Can I go to those ones?
You know, they're big, but you're just kind of hanging out with your mates all day. So it's good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I am grateful for the cooler weather. I love being...
Oh, fuck's sake. Now I have to think of something else.
I love just being able to chuck on a jersey and keep warm. Sleeping a little bit easier at nights now too.
It's happened in like 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Proper.
went from like actually hot last week to waking up in the
Yeah.
morning and walking buddy and being like, oh, or walking in here and the aircon's on and being like, why is the aircon on?
Yeah. I brought a hoodie with me today.
Well, from now on, we'll switch the timers off, I reckon. We'll
Yeah.
just turn it on when it's actually hot, because I don't think it's going to be hot anymore.
It'll be nice to have the roller door open again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Bit more natural light. Daniel will be happy.
Yeah.
Daniel's all about the natural light.
What are you grateful for, Tom, bro?
Well, I was grateful for the weather, but now I hate the weather by default. Now I have to think of another one. I am grateful for
No, I always do Buddy.
Do you?
Yeah.
I always do.
I am grateful for Buddy. Very grateful for Buddy and his new jumper.
Yeah.
Looking extra dapper, and now he can wear it all the time.
Little turtleneck.
I'm grateful for being able to work online when I have to. Like, it's nice to be able to shoot off places and still be able to do what I need to do from afar. So I'm really grateful for that.
Nice. Good one.
All right. Well, let's keep the movie quotes going. Do you guys have any movie quotes?
Where was Gondor when the Westfold fell?
All right. From now on, we have to ban Bridget from doing Lord of the Rings or Alien.
Or Alien.
That's what I do every week. Lord of the Rings lines.
Meter's back on the menu, boys.
I made him watch The Two Towers.
Oh, have you never seen it?
Hectic.
He loved it.
We like, he actually broke his toe
No,
here.
because he wasn't looking at the screen when that happened.
Oh.
I was waiting for it.
I didn't. They're fucking such good movies.
Did you like the Ents?
Yeah.
The tree herders.
They're cool. I just didn't realize how action packed they were.
Never stops.
Now you have to show them all the stuff, like how they got the Uruk-hai to chant. So Peter Jackson just went to a cricket game
Yeah.
and got everyone to chant. Like, he just said what the quote was, the chant was, which is just like a made up language, and then got the whole stadium to do it, and they just got a bunch of microphones and recorded it.
That's sick.
Use that in the movie.
Well, I saw that thing about the what are they called again? The what'd you call it? Uruk-hai.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
orcs.
Yeah, the orcs. And you know that quote has that line that says "Meter's back on the menu, boys."
Yeah, how they wouldn't know there was a such thing as a menu.
Yeah. And then how they said, "Nah, but people will meme it, so it'll
Yeah.
be funny." I think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true.
Yeah,
but
I don't
Oh,
know
is
if
it
it's
not true?
accurate because memes weren't really a thing
Yeah,
back then.
yeah.
So I reckon
Yeah, you're
someone's
right. That was like
just-
20 years ago.
I saw that the other day and I'm like, whoa, and then I'm like, no.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, we didn't even have social media back then.
No, but they would know what a menu was because orcs were once men.
Yeah. And how would they know anything if
Yeah.
if they were just born right then and there? They wouldn't know a thing. Of course they know what a menu is.
Yeah, James.
All right, I got a few movie quotes. I'm going to kick us off. You guys got to try guess what they're from.
Oh, you got multiple ones.
I got
Okay,
multiple.
well, Bridget kicked us off because she already did one, but
That's true. All right. I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
CJ's like, yeah.
For those 10 seconds.
I don't actually know what that's from. That's a Fast and Furious,
Furious.
right? But is it like an original Fast and Furious or one of the like six?
It's from
It's
the
the very
first
first
one.
one.
The very
Yeah.
first one.
But I have
CJ, what scene?
He's
Well, 43 minutes in.
no, I don't. He's talking to Paul Walker's character, and he's showing him his dad's car, and he tells him, "I live my life a quarter mile at a time, and for those 10 seconds, I'm free."
All right. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Denzel.
Yeah. I was about to say, you just did his laugh kind of too. By accident.
Oh, what's it on? Gangster?
No.
American Gangster? No.
Tom, bro?
No, I don't know. Is that the one where he gets shot at the end?
Yep. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's when he walks into the
It's not American Gangster.
No.
He's a cop, but
Yeah.
he's a bad cop.
Yeah.
And it's with Ethan Hawke.
Training
why
Day?
ca-
Yep.
Training Day.
What on,
Fuck,
Bridget?
such a good movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Say it, Bridget.
My man.
Love it.
My man.
All right.
I love it when, like, if you look for the gif of that,
Yeah.
it always, like, dubs it as my man.
Are you not entertained?
Gladiator.
Yes.
Nice.
Are you not entertained?
All right. Prepare to be fucked by the long dick of the law.
Don't know that one.
Don't know
I
it?
don't know it, no.
Super bad.
Oh.
All right.
Right, you're exhausting all your, like, week's
No, these
content.
are good. These are
These are
good.
good.
I like
Keep
this.
going. Keep
All
going.
right.
Your week's gone.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Oh, Batman. Spider-Man.
Nice. All right. That's me.
You talking to me? You talking to me?
Taxi driver.
Yes.
Great.
Great.
Oh, hey, CJ, you typed in famous movie quotes because that came up for me as well.
Did it?
Yeah. You could probably just scroll down and find my ones too.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Silence of the Lambs.
Is it so?
Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter.
Such a great movie.
Fuck, he's scary.
Yeah.
So good.
All right. Is that us for our quotes?
Yes.
All right. What have we been up to? What have you been up to, CJ? Sydney Tings.
Yeah. Last minute got flown into Sydney. They didn't have a drummer, so me and a keys player, we went down, and that was dope.
Real instrument.
Yeah, that's right. A real instrument, piano,
Call me when you finish playing with your sticks.
and bashing,
Making
things,
noise.
hitting pig skins. Yeah, that was super fun. So exhausted from it, and yeah, that's mainly what I've been up to.
Nice. Tomaras.
It was Easter, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Do over Easter? Can't remember. Meg had a birthday celebration.
Yeah.
Late
How was
birthday
that?
celebration.
That was in Byron, hey?
Down in Byron somewhere. It was a nice drive. Otherwise, pretty chill. Pretty chill weekend, yeah. Just tried to take it easy. I'm crash dieting after my comp because I'm a groomsman in a wedding in a couple of weeks. So I'm trying to get a little bit leaner for the...
You've lost quite a lot of...
I was going to say that
Yeah, but
yesterday,
that's because I'm eating like 2,300 calories a day. So I'm extremely hungry and extremely grumpy. So if my work quality is terrible and I snap at everything, now you know why.
Nikki said it this morning as well. Thomas has lost lots of weight after his comp straight away.
Yeah, I was pretty bloated leading into it. I was eating a packet of chips a day.
Fuck yeah. Let's live in the dream.
Yeah.
Living a dream.
Gage, what have you been up to?
literally nothing. Just enjoyed my 4-day weekend. Spent lots of time at the beach.
Nice.
Yeah, loving training at the moment. Yeah,
Nice.
nothing special.
Nice.
James?
What have I been up to? I played in a basketball tournament over the weekend. As a 31-year-old, tournaments aren't as enjoyable as they were as a kid.
Well, just game after game is a bit harsh on the old body.
Very harsh.
On the old bones.
Yeah, my knees and my ankles are sore. Playing basketball three games a day as a 31-year-old is hits a little bit different to when you're 14 and in between games. You're still running around like an idiot, staying up all night, and yeah.
How long do you get between each game?
Well, day one we had 3 games. Day 2 we had 2. When did you come watch?
Sunday.
Day
You
2 or
just had
3? Oh yeah, so we
Thursday
lost.
2.
Yeah, we lost the semi-final on the Sunday. It was an all Filipino comp. There were some actual monsters there, like the biggest Filipinos I've ever seen in my life. There was one Filipino there that was pro in New Zealand, and he played college ball in the Philippines too. So there were some good players.
When
Which
you
is
say biggest, you mean like tallest?
yeah. Mm.
Because surely CJ is the biggest Filipino you've seen in your life.
That's Gwaine.
Yeah, Gwaine.
Yeah, actually. Gwaine makes CJ look like a kid.
He dwarfs you, CJ. But yeah, just been doing that. Training. I've been training jiu-jitsu and just playing basketball, and that's it. Nothing exciting.
No machetes came out?
Nah, there wasn't.
Machete.
There was almost a little bit. I almost lost my cool once, but that's all right.
Kept it together. I sent James a video of this basketball match. I don't know where it was, but there was a tiff, and then some guy whipped out a machete and attacked the guy. Yeah.
That's fucking insane, eh? Yeah.
Did he actually?
Yeah,
get
there's
him?
blood everywhere.
Yeah.
At a basketball game.
Where was that at?
Canada.
Dunno.
It was in Canada.
In Canada.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking nuts. But yeah, that's all I've been up to.
Boys will be boys.
Shooters gonna shoot, baby. So while I was preparing this podcast, on the section on the computer where I wrote it down, I accidentally just deleted it before we came up, and the computer froze.
Awesome.
Yeah. So, but the topic for today was going to be Tombo. This will be applicable for you as well.
Yep.
After a powerlifting comp, normally you typically you're quite burnt out. You've put your all into a competition. You've arguably lifted the most weight you've ever lifted before, and leading up to the competition, where to go to after comp?
In general? Are you saying for me, or were you talking about for anyone?
Well, it'd be good for you to talk about which direction you're going in, but mainly anybody.
Yeah, cool.
Give some advice on what to do after comp.
I'll say what I'm doing. I'm eating nothing. Now I've got this wedding coming up, and then all of May I'll be away. We're heading over to Europe for Jordan Hellier's wedding as well. So 2 weddings. So training will happen, but I can't plan for powerlifting because I don't know where I'll be and what access I'll have to equipment over there. So for me, it's just going back to like conditioning and bodybuilding sort of stuff. I was doing a lot of that before I did this equip prep, and I was really enjoying it. So I would have loved to continue with a laser focus on something like the Zero Pro and just put up like lift as a guest lifter there and put up something huge equipped. But I also have an appointment with a new surgeon in June. So there's a potential that I get another surgery and won't be able to compete for the rest of this year anyway. So I'm just sort of cruising.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, we were talking about this downstairs just before. I was saying, I like leaning hard into the powerlifting stuff because that's my jam in terms of like talking about powerlifting, supporting powerlifters, giving advice for powerlifters. And it's become quite cool to say that, oh, you don't have to squat, bench, deadlift. Oh, you can get away from powerlifting. And it almost puts a negative spin on keeping the focus on powerlifting. And I think it's important to say that, yeah, absolutely. If there's a time and a place for getting away from it, for adding variations, for not doing squat, bench, deadlift, go for it for sure. It can be perfectly healthy. In fact, it should be encouraged sometimes. But there's also nothing wrong with just like getting straight back into it. It's interesting looking at like the modern coaching style, which is, I think people think is more progressive than it was. I was talking to Stenzel the other day and I was like, bro, I figured it out. Modern coaching is just Shaco, except instead of getting strong and injured, you just get injured. Like it's squat, bench, deadlift every day, hardly any accessories. I'm being facetious. People get strong doing what they do these days. Oh no, I added the stipulation, except with Shaco, it's fixed numbers. With modern coaching, you just max out every time. But yeah, no. I'm mostly being facetious. Anyway, I raise this because, it is quite popular now to be doing hyper-specific training, lots of squat, bench, deadlift, limited variation, limited accessories. And so like I look at Eli, for example, competed at our states, and he squatted like 250-ish?
252?
Yeah, north of 250. And the next day he was back in the gym squatting around 200, like the very next day. And there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. Like you don't have to take a break from powerlifting. You can get straight back into training and set your sights on the next thing if your body is going to allow you to do that. So post-comp, like if you're a serious powerlifter, it really comes down to what's next and how far away is that thing. And depending on what's next and how far away it is, there's normally a few directions you take. You either step your foot off the gas and focus on some other goal that will support you later on, and normally that looks like body composition stuff. Lose a bit of weight, get ready for your weight class so you can eat into the next comp. Normally that does mean take some stress off the body, which means getting away from load, so switching back to volume or bodybuilding, and that's where variations and getting away from squat, bench, deadlift does fit in quite nicely if you're going to go down that route. But again, you don't have to. What do you guys think?
I've got a couple of things. The first thing I want to, like you said, there's nothing wrong with getting right back into it. I'm just going to use, I like making comparisons to other sports. So let's just say after my basketball competition in the weekend, obviously I'd be feeling a little bit burnt out. Tom, bro, if he was my basketball coach, he's not going to go, you know what, bro, take a break. Go play rugby. Go do something different, bro. You don't need to play basketball. We'll get back into it. Like, would you do that as a basketball coach? Nah, yeah. Like, as powerlifting coaches, it is good sometimes to encourage people to try new things, just to keep training fresh, but you shouldn't really stray too far away from what we're doing. Like, you chose powerlifting as a sport because you enjoyed it to begin with. So
it depends how serious you are about it, right?
Yeah,
and
100%.
Like, for you, to use you as an example, after your basketball tournament, you might just be like, well, I'll do the basketball season next year. Right now, I'm going to focus on jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm going to run, like there's nothing wrong with having multiple sports and hobbies. But if you were like, I am 100% focused on being the best basketball player I can be, you're not going to stray too far away from that.
Yeah, 100%.
It would be silly for you too, because you'll just hold yourself back.
I at this point in my life, I'm a hobbyist. Everything I do is a hobby. So I'm happy to jump in between anything and give everything a crack. But yeah, like Thomas said, if you are serious about powerlifting, it is pretty reasonable and pretty smart to have your eyes set on the next task and start working towards that. But things that you should address post-competition. Obviously, after every prep, there's probably some lessons that you learned as well. Things that you can work on for your next prep. So, I don't know, Tom Bro, I'm just going to say Tom Bro might have had more, his arms might have been Actually, this might be the sorest I've ever seen your arms.
I complained a lot.
Yeah, like I've never heard you like.
It's just the load.
Yeah.
The load and the straps. Equip sucks.
Like this could be, this could be a lesson for Tom Bro. Maybe next time he won't need to introduce low bar, or maybe do less low bar work. Maybe use safety bar a little bit more. Maybe work on his shoulder stability or mobility a little bit more. It could be a time for him to address some of those things. Just like anyone, there's lessons that you're gonna, there's gonna be some.
A good comparison is bodybuilding. So like think about, let's say we're taking Bridget and putting her on the bodybuilding stage. And let's assume that she was fat now, which she's not. She's shredded all the time. You just go bodybuild anyway. But like, let's assume that Bridget was heavy. She cuts down. When she starts to peak for the show, she's going to see all the imbalances that she needs to work on. They're going to come to fruition as she approaches the end goal. And powerlifting is much the same. You'll become far more aware of where you went wrong, where all your weaknesses are, what you need to work on as you come to the peak. If you're inexperienced, the more experience you have, the more you can sort of foresee this stuff, but you foresee it because of the experience of competing in the past as well. It goes around in a circle like that. But like she'll see, actually my back came in a bit weaker this time. Therefore, when I prep for my next show, I need to make sure that well in advance, I start working on building bigger lats and with these exercises, whatever. However bodybuilders train. And it's much the same in powerlifting. It's like you're like, oh shit. Or like James, you're like, my arms are sore, or you've identified that I was complaining about my arms. For me, it's like, okay, well, I know as soon as I put the straps up and started really overloading, my arms got destroyed. So maybe I need more exposure to that. Or maybe I need to address some underlying weakness. And I can do both of those things well in advance and sort of figure out what those issues are to make sure that next time I peak and compete, I'm better. And I think that's where a lot of powerlifters tend to go wrong post-competition. They just relax. They're like, oh, the thing is done. It's like, no, once the thing is done, now is your best opportunity to start thinking about how you're going to correct for all those mistakes. That doesn't mean you have to go balls to the wall straight after the competition. You can take some time taking it easy, giving your body some rest, resetting mentally, all of that sort of stuff. But in the back of your head, if you're serious about this, it's where were my weaknesses? Where were my technical breakdowns? What did I do wrong with my body weight, with my eating, with my routine, with my sleep? What do I need to change to make sure that next time I compete, I'm way better than I was this time?
You'll find on the higher end of the scale, like with advanced lifters like yourself, it's more of the little things like that, like, with the arm pain, how to manage that. What you'll find with like the intermediate, I think it's a really common trend with the intermediate powerlifters that do take the sport very seriously, is the most common problem that they run into is managing their weight. They start doing these drastic cuts from 4 weeks out, 3 weeks out. They've realized they haven't made weight. So that's a really common thing that intermediate lifters run into, is trying to make that weight class. So that's something that you probably want to address straight away, straight after your comp. Start working on that straight away, like Thomas said before, dieting down and then being able to eat up into your weight class.
You could be really blind to it as well. Like if cutting is an option and you take that option, so let's say, CJ has this peak, he hits certain numbers in the peak, he cuts weight and he hits the same numbers in training that in the competition. He's like, it was a success. I cut weight, I made weight, and I hit the numbers that I hit in training. To me, that's not a success. It means your peak failed, because your peak should happen around the comp day and that should be your best. It should be better than what you hit in training. And if that's the mindset, oh, it worked, then cutting's always an option. I'll always cut, and you never see how good you can be. And so people see that as an option, take that option, and never realize their potential because they always hold themselves back with poor weight management. I think that's definitely like what you're saying about, that's where a lot of intermediates start to trip themselves up big time.
I just want to use an example. Last year at Worlds, did I coach Matt Rodwell at Nationals?
I think it was Worlds. I can't remember.
Worlds.
Oh, so heading into, he competed in the 90 class. He ended up getting best overall male lifter and won the 90 kilo class.
Crushed it.
But he weighed 84.5 kilos. We had the option to cut down to the 82.5 or get rid of one less stressor and just keep eating up into the 90s. And that's the route that we went. Yeah, it was a really light under 90 kilo lifter, but I feel like it was a success, just taking away that
one overall.
Yeah.
Did pretty well.
So I think that was that's just a good example of what you don't need to always cut down to the weight class, or like I said, we just took away that extra pressure of cutting down.
Yeah, Yeah, for sure.
And you don't have to limit yourself to one weight class for your entire lifting career either. There's a lot of people that do that. They're obsessed with being in like the under 82s, and so they will always try to stay in the under 82s.
They get so emotionally attached to it.
Yeah.
I can relate to this really heavily because when I got into powerlifting, I was around 74 kilos. And then I started training. So I was already idolizing all the under 74, under 75 kilo lifters. And then I came to Tom Bro, your first gym, PTC Gold Coast. And the first novice comp, I weighed in at under 82.5. And I was like a little bit gutted. I was like, fuck. I want to be an under 74. I want to be an under 75. And before you know it, I'm an under 90. And then before you know it, I'm doing, what was APUs? Under 93s. And I was getting heavier. And I was so emotionally attached to this weight class that it was ruining my my lifting progress.
And your experience.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Yeah.
I was doing stupid weight cuts. Wasn't lifting to the best of my ability because I was so fixated on silly little things like being able to compete in a certain weight class.
Yeah, a lot of lifters shoot themselves in the foot. It's really interesting. Like I look at my own experience, and like I come from a background of being obese, of going through an eating disorder, of having really bad body image my entire life, and it's still with me. Like it still hits me hard. And even this comp I just did, I wasn't in the weight class. Like weight class didn't matter to me. All that mattered was performing well and hitting my total, and I still did a silly little cut at the end. And it wasn't silly in the sense that I knew what I was doing, but it was completely unnecessary. I didn't have to do it. And I actually had to actively try and stop myself to not doing it even harder, to not like properly water loading and properly paying attention to sodium and doing an actual cut for nothing. Like all I did was cut some water and eat a bit less the day before the weigh-in. But like it just some little voice in the back of my head saying, you really want to stand on the scales and have your total attached to this body weight? Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're not that heavy. And it's stupid. Like that mindset is so stupid because you are that heavy. Like I was probably the heaviest I've been in my life on comp day. I didn't weigh myself, but I look at the photos and I'm like, whoa, who the fuck is that? And why did he eat Thomas? Like I posted that photo with my mum yesterday. I'm like, oh, someone filled that guy with air.
But your body composition was really good at this weight.
Yeah, better than it has been in the past. I look at old comp photos and I'm like,
because I remember there's been times where you have been a little bit heavier and you definitely didn't look like as jacked as you are now.
yeah. And that was just last year. Last year I spent most of it just doing bodybuilding stuff. Yeah.
What's the lightest you got down to last year? 106? 104?
Was that last year? No,
Yeah.
that was the year before.
Oh, wow,
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it was 2021 I went down from like 120 and quite fat to like 104. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. That's
Wow.
hectic. Yeah. Fuck, sorry.
No. So yeah, post comp, there's so many routes that you can take. I think the main thing is if you're genuinely committed to being a better powerlifter, powerlifting has to be the priority. You have to keep it in the back of your mind. And so with straying away from squat, bench, deadlift, again, absolutely necessary from time to time, good to mentally reset, not completely necessary to do those 3 lifts in certain phases of training. However, those phases of training should be limited, far and few between. And if you do that, it should be on your mind to get back to them pretty quickly. If you're not that serious about powerlifting, sure, take a break, do whatever you want. But just know that if you stray far away from lifting in general, your route back into being stronger than before is going to be a little bit slower, a little bit longer. Yeah.
It's just one of those things you're going to have to accept if that's the route you can choose to take.
Yeah, we've got our novice comp coming up when this Sunday. It's always interesting.
Crazy.
It's always interesting paying attention to novices and the things that they say. Like we're so exposed to powerlifting done right. It's really interesting watching powerlifting done wrong. Watching novices come in and, maybe coming into the gym the day before or a couple of days before to check it out and, I want to try a deadlift bar, and they like max out or do like 10 sets of 10. I really want to get the hang of it. It's so interesting when we talk about like the minutia of being really good to seeing how people can do like the absolute worst thing possible and still do all right.
I'm lucky that my first exposure to powerlifting was at this gym. I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was so my first exposure to powerlifting was I've told the story before, but Tom Bro came into my work, and I already followed Thomas on Instagram. And so I went up to him, introduced myself, and he's like, yeah, come train at my gym. And I was like, I'm in a moon boot. He goes, come train anywhere. So I came and trained, walked into the gym. I was like, this is sick. So I signed up for the novice comp that weekend. So it was that weekend. Then I said to Thomas, I can help out too. So I ended up doing the mono. Can you remember me doing the mono? And I didn't know how to do it. So I was fucking shitting myself.
I don't actually remember that.
So I was doing the gate on the
That's
mono.
definitely a throwback if we were using the mono for a novice comp.
Yeah. We were using.
Well, I wouldn't have had a combo then.
Nah, and we used we didn't even use the Dominator bench. We used the other one, the tall one.
Oh yeah, the Swedish one.
Yeah,
That's right.
When did you get the first combo rack? That was the only one here when I started.
Well, it was shortly after.
I sent it to you, didn't I?
Yeah, James sent it to me on Instagram the other day.
true.
Would have been like a few months after James signed up.
That's cool.
It came up in my memories, and
Yeah.
that's
I know actually. What month did you sign up?
I can't remember.
I bought it in March.
Yeah.
So I think you signed up towards the end of whatever year you signed up, and then following March is when I bought it.
Yeah.
Because I was at Pro Raw and I saw a post come up on Facebook of this guy that had bought all this Alico, never opened it, and then was selling it. He was going to open a second gym, and then he decided not to. So he put it up for sale, and I saw it, and I'm like, the fuck? And so I jumped on it, and we got a bunch. I think maybe we didn't get that much. Maybe I just bought the combo and another bar. I can't remember.
Alico bar.
Yeah.
But don't you think it's crazy that back then, like, I took a photo of the Alico. That's how pumped I was about it.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit, we've got an Alico combo rack.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like you have moments, well, for me, you know, owning the place, I have moments where I walk in and like for the last month, I walk in and I see that Zero Mono. I'm like, that's so cool. Like there's just new things. And then we get a whole bunch of stuff at the end of this month. So we get all of our plates replaced with brand new plates. All of our calibrated plates are getting replaced. We get some more machines. So I bought a new hack squat. I bought a new hip thrust.
Really?
Yeah. Ages ago, you asked for plyo boxes, like plyo pads.
Oh, we got more.
I got some of them,
How good.
I think. I can't actually remember. We do these orders and then they take so long to be fulfilled. I forget
what you
what's
got.
coming. Yeah.
Is the hip thrust, is it like the one at Southside? Is it that one?
Where it's a bar.
Yeah,
across
where it
the
goes
waist.
across.
No,
Instead of a belt?
it's similar to the Nautilus one. So that's
Ooh.
that's a really bad similar to Nautilus one.
Yeah.
This one's a bit closer, I think. It should be better.
Yeah, nice.
I hope. I hope the Southside one is cool.
It's so cool.
The Southside one's really nice.
Yeah.
Actually, ironically, you know, all the Zeros are known for having, you know, full of Alico stuff and all that. We've never had a brand new Alico plate in here, with the exception of 4 15-kilo plates.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, we've never had a brand new Alico plate in this gym.
Wow.
All of my plates, in fact, all of my plates full stop have been second-hand except for the original steel ones and the very first set of Ivanko that I got in 2013. Which was six plates, 6 reds, and then 2 of everything else. Otherwise, everything else has been secondhand.
Man, you're really leaning into the Alico elitist thing here, Tom, bro.
Well, we finally...
You're turning into the person we used to laugh at in here.
I know.
I know.
We finally got zero plates. So maybe in the future, Zero gyms will have 0 plates. I don't know.
That's sick.
That would be cool.
Yeah, anyone who's ever actually had to buy something Alico knows how painful it is. Extremely painful.
Yeah.
So now we don't have to, because one thing I love is watching people walk halfway across the room to get Alico plates.
Yeah, I love that too. But the frustration is then they put it on a different tree.
Yes.
That's like people are
Yes.
like, wow, why are you getting new plates? You know, you got, you got to treat the members, look after it. No, I'm just sick of the plates getting mixed up. You know, the other really frustrating thing is brands have changed their colors over the years.
Yeah.
So they're all
like,
different colors.
yeah, like some of the blues are next to the other blues and they're different color blues. Oh.
When I first started
Yeah.
working here, I used to spend so much time moving all the plates around and putting them back where they were supposed to go, and now it just seems like a waste of time.
See, this is the thing. You guys have become gym owners. This is it. It's like people would be like, you know, they make a mess of chalk or whatever, and you'd like be so anal about, don't do that, put
No,
this
I'm
here,
still
put this
that way.
there. And then, you know, the next day it's back to where it was. Like, if I do nothing, it kind of just stays the same anyway. So I'm just going to focus on more important things right now.
I feel like the members have been really good lately, though. They've been keeping the gym really clean.
Did you clean it on Monday by any chance while you were
Monday,
here?
no. I put some paper towels in the...
I couldn't believe how clean the gym was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So shout out to Ground Zero.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome.
It was probably Evan Pennell.
Probably.
There are some members here that pick up after other people.
Yeah, is Evan on payroll? He's one of the cleaners.
Evan does more work than any of the Zero staff, including me. does more for the gym without... Sometimes you check the cameras and you're like, why is Evan rearranging the entire gym and putting it back together? Thank you, Evan.
Yeah, he's actually got quite a big cleaning stuff. Sue Fitzsimmons is one of his employees. She's always picking stuff up. Scotty Too Hottie and Heather.
Paris.
Yeah.
Paris does it too.
On
They're
a
all
Sunday.
great. Yeah.
They all come in on a Sunday. Oh, hey, James, the gym was a fucking mess. I'm like, oh, that's horrible. Thanks for cleaning it.
Yeah. The funny thing is, I do it at every Zero except for this one. Like, I walk into Southside and put all the bands away and move the plates around on the machines. I walk in here, I'm like, nah, it's home. It's my mess.
Well, that's good, though, because they don't get to see you often. So they'll be like, fuck, look at the boss. Fucking, he's in the trenches with us.
Of all the Zeros, like the culture of leaving stuff in the wrong place, Southside is by far the worst. And I'm blaming Daniel because Daniel's by far the worst at doing it in general. Because he's like me. He's like, I'll do this. I'm going to move on to that exercise. And between rests, I'll go do that. And then between rests, someone will talk to him or he'll answer an APL email, do something. And then it just kind of gets forgotten. Brisbane's the cleanest because the staff there just put everything away straight away, or the members are pretty good. And Brisbane also has the most signs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
You can't do anything without a sign in Brisbane. Can't open the fridge. There's a sign on the fridge. Everything has a sign. So that's Jamie and Lisa shining through there.
Well, Jamie said people are a little bit scared of Lisa. Like, she's the boss.
I'm scared of Lisa.
Like, apparently she pulls people up straight away. And I'm like, I love that.
Yeah, she's straight down the line.
I do that too, and people just laugh at me. Oh, fuck up, Henny.
Cairns is meticulously clean because Wes is a clean freak.
What about Mackay?
Mackay is, I don't know. Like every time I'm at Mackay, it seems to be for a comp.
Mm-hmm.
So it's being cleaned like before or after comp, and it's always like spotless in there.
In all their videos, that it always looks spotless.
Yeah. I think they're pretty anal about cleaning up there as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we all kind of are, except Southside.
I actually wanted to see what your guys' thoughts on this. A little bit of news in the powerlifting industry that rocked powerlifting a little bit last week.
Oh, the trans thing?
Yeah.
Avi?
Oh, yeah, I've been hearing a lot about that.
So Avi, who is the head coach of powerlifting Canada?
Or he was.
Yeah, in the IPF.
Yeah, for like 10 years or something.
Yeah, and he recently just entered a competition and he identified as, sorry if I butcher some of these pronouns, or sorry, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but he identified as a woman and then set all the records.
Yeah, so I can't remember the exact story, but it's around, I'm sure anyone listening to this who's into powerlifting will have been exposed to it, or you can find it easy enough. But CPU, so Canadian Powerlifting Union, or whatever it is over there, which is an IPF affiliate, they don't check if you identify as male or female. They don't actually check anything. Like, you don't have to prove that you're transgender. There's nothing around that. So he just identified as a woman and destroyed the record. What do you think?
Was he doing it
He was doing
to make some kind of point, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, he was making a statement because a lot of female lifters were upset because I think a trans woman had broken a record by identifying as a female and competing in the female division. And so a lot of the female lifters were upset at that. And so to prove a point, he did it and broke that record even further to sort of, I guess, make a statement that he believes that it's not fair. Something, I mean, I'm putting words in their mouths. I don't actually know. I didn't look that deep into it.
Yeah. Well, I'm not trying to be insensitive at all, but I think it's very unfair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like it just gets it can get uglier across sports. Imagine if it starts happening in combat sports.
Well, it does.
yeah. Like, imagine if we like, where do we draw the line? I don't want to say that because it sounds insensitive.
It's a
but like,
very touchy subject.
because I empathize with I empathize with people who are trans because obviously their life is already very difficult for them, and all they're trying to do is compete in a sport that they love.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, we've got trans lifters in Zero.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's definitely more difficult or more eyes are on it in one way than the other. You know, females who transition to male and then compete as males don't really cop any flack for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It tends to be the males that are transitioning to females and then on top of that breaking records. And this is the interesting thing because like you don't see it happening with people who aren't breaking records. No one's complaining about someone that's coming 5th place. It's only when people are winning. And there seems to be a high percentage of that happening. But it is a touchy subject. And maybe one day we'll get someone who's more aware of all the ins and outs of it. Like I know, even though APL isn't affiliated with IPL anymore, IPL only offered male-female divisions and there were no TUEs. So you couldn't be taking hormone replacement therapy and compete in the tested division. You'd have to go in the untested division. And that kind of does level the playing field because there are, females competing in the untested division that are using hormones. And so it adds in at least some element of leveling of the playing field. But I think it's, unless you're an expert in the area, it's really just opinion. And, expert opinion versus like standard opinion is where all of these discussions are ending up. It's like the court of public opinion versus expert opinion. And
it sucks though because despite the expert opinion, you're always going to get flamed in the court of public opinion.
Oh, absolutely.
Like even if you could be right, like you can be as right as you fucking, you know what I'm trying to say. But I think like I get the point he was trying to make, but now he's added to it, but he's also to an extent he might have ruined it for even more ladies trying to compete and break those records.
I don't know if the method he chose to use to make the statement was the best method to use. And I only say that because to some degree I understand what he was trying to achieve, but now I've seen other people trying to do it and absolutely like you're being extra careful to be sensitive. I've seen other people trying to do it or making statements on it that are completely insensitive to the topic.
That's what I was going to say, is it open the floodgates now to people that just want to come in and break records just for the sake of breaking records, not to make a statement.
Yeah, not even that. Just like, I don't think they care about the records because it would be a joke if, like if I competed in a female division, I'd be in the 110 plus and I go and bench 200. No one's going to touch that.
Yeah.
Besides her.
I was about to say,
she probably does outbench me at this stage. Phenomenal. Fucking phenomenal venture. But, if Coops did it, no one's going to touch that. And then it just becomes a mockery and a joke, and it literally makes the sport look stupid. It makes everyone look stupid. What do you think, CJ? Have you seen that thing pop up? With Avi doing the...
Yeah, I've seen it pop up. I didn't realize he was making a statement.
And again, I'm not that well averse on what actually happened, so I'm putting words in his mouth potentially, but I believe that's what it was.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a very tough one to address because now, that does kind of open the floodgates, but I don't know, like, is that how do you address it now? Like, do you nullify his records? Like, can you now that you've opened the door to allow people that identify, that can claim what they identify as and then just compete and break records? Can you even come back from this now?
Well, that's the thing, right? Because if they nullify his record, which would make sense in my opinion, it's just like, okay, man, you literally did this as a publicity stunt or as a statement. That shouldn't count because. But then the whole point would be, well, then do you then have to nullify the person's record that is going through that transition process, identified as a woman and broke a record?
Yeah.
Do you nullify their record and then you end up where you started?
Yeah, and you can't really police that because he could easily play that card of like, oh, who are you to tell me?
Exactly.
You know, so yeah, now it's really sticky. Like you can't really.
Well, in Australia, I'm not too sure if other feds do it, but John Sheridan from Burleigh, is it in Canberra?
Yeah. He runs MX Division at his novice comps.
So he was the first person in Australia to run MX Division?
In powerlifting, yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
So for the listeners, MX Division is for what is the category exactly?
Non-binary.
Non-binary. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Non-binary, transgender, yeah.
Well, I'm hoping we can see more of that in powerlifting in the future.
Well, did you see what happened in the USAPL?
No.
USAPL? I think so. USAPL, before they had exited the IPF, had introduced an MX division, and I think a trans woman sued them for uninclusiveness or something like that. Even though there was the MX division there for discrimination, or I can't remember what it was, and she won.
Wow.
She won just recently. Again, I can't speak on it because honestly, I don't look too deep into these sort of things. Like if you watch every single piece of news in the powerlifting world or in the world in general. So I feel like I'm almost being ignorant by saying that, but the reality is I don't know enough about it to talk about it, but you can easily go and find that story. Can probably look it up right now. CJ.
Look it up.
Jamie, bring that up.
Jamie, bring that up. I was more making that as a joke. Don't actually expect you to bring it up.
Well, I've got it right here, actually. But
like as long as the world continues to have these conversations, like as long as these conversations grow louder and louder, we are going to see it impact us in some way, shape, or form. For example, and the particular person, I don't want to name them, just for privacy's sake. They are Zero through and through. They absolutely love Zero. They've been with Zero since day one of the particular gym that they train at opening. But they called me out, and not called me out in any form of attacking way or in any form of like, you need to get educated on this. But in our foundation membership form for the gym they joined, it asked gender and it had male and female, and they wrote in the comments, "I'm neither," or "I'm transgender." I can't remember exactly what they pointed out, but they pointed out that there was no box for them to tick essentially. And I felt like shit, and I got on the phone and I had a really cool conversation with this person. And again, they're Zero through and through. They love it to death. But it's just something that us as leaders, us as business owners, as coaches are going to have to be more aware of as things move in this direction. How we account for it in sport, I mean, that's up to the individual sporting organizations. I have my own thoughts and opinions, ones that I'm not particularly comfortable sharing right now, just because like it's such a sensitive topic. And I don't think it's necessary for everyone to know everyone's thoughts and opinions.
100%.
If anyone ever wants to talk to me about it, hit me up. I'm happy to chat about it. But I don't necessarily feel comfortable putting out there in an open forum. And I think that's important to say, because how someone then interprets that and then projects that onto you as a person is so powerful. And like me even saying that is going to make people assume what my thoughts and opinions are. And they might be total opposite of what you're thinking right now. Because like it's like if you say your thoughts and opinions, the question is, who do you offend? Because you either offend the people that are on one side or the other. And no one hearing this knows which side I'm on or which side I lean or whatever. But them just hearing that opens the door to like something he might say might offend me. And what I think doesn't mean shit as to what Zero thinks, because me and Zero are two different things, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Look, all I want to see is, obviously I want powerlifting's for everybody. I just want to see everybody compete in powerlifting, no matter what race, gender, whatever you identify as. I want to hopefully be able to figure out a way that we can police it to make it as even playing field for everyone, make it as fair as possible for everyone, and just so everyone can be a part of it. That would be ideal, but like we've spoken about, it's getting...
This is fucking powerlifting. Imagine it in something that matters.
Like
imagine dealing this with a policy level or a huge organizational level.
Could you imagine CJ? Could you imagine Israel Adesanya identifying as a woman? Like you'd almost feel sick. if he walked into the ring with another woman,
Who's that?
MMA fighter, UFC fighter from New Zealand.
Stylebender.
Yeah, Stylebender.
Why didn't you just say his name? I have to speak another language.
Yeah, my bad. That's his birth name, Stylebender.
Did you watch his speech after?
Yeah.
I like that.
So did I.
Yeah. I'm normally not into that sort of stuff.
My favorite part was, so did you see how he fell on the ground?
Oh, and because of the kid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Are you with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Bridget empathizes. Bridget's too much of a nice person. She's like, that poor kid.
Nah.
He said he was crying.
Yeah, fuck them kids. Hey.
Learn a lesson.
Yeah. Alex Pajeda, if your son's listening to this. Yeah.
I don't know.
He's just a kid.
Another
being
one
influenced.
protecting the children.
Yeah.
Not protecting the children. He's mocking a kid who, it's like,
Who's just
Are
there to
you-
cheer on his dad.
are you really going to pretend that his dad didn't just whoop you 3 times? Like, shut up. Don't give me
Nah.
that crap.
I'm with Tom, bro. Fuck that kid.
Nah.
It's a good lesson, though.
You think, you think
that-
Leonidas would have sympathy?
I don't
Yeah.
I don't have the issue with like that, but I'm like, how big of a man do you think you are? Like, you won once, like being one of 4. Like, that's what I'm like. Are you really celebrating that hard when you've been whooped 3 times by that guy?
But that's like,
Like, oh, I don't
nah,
know.
but bro, you're overcoming adversity. Like,
Sure, like, well,
you got to celebrate.
If he was going to lose, like, okay, because that's what people were arguing about this fight. They're like, oh, if he wins, I'm like, well, if you keep fighting the same guy, surely maybe 1 out of 10.
So
One
you're
out of-
telling me if
So, wait. We're getting away because I don't know any of this context and I don't care. I just think if the kid's going to be a little shit, he's got to get what's coming to him.
That's
all right,
totally fine.
let's put it a different way. So Will Crozier beats Australian Sebastian Orb every single year. Sebastian Orb, let's say 2024, Sebastian Orb beats Will Crozier.
Not every year. Sebastian's beat him before.
Oh, Sebastian's beat him before?
I think, yeah, Pro Raw 8.
Okay. Oh, wow. Throwback. So let's just say Will's beat Sebastian 3 years in a row. The 4th year, Sebastian upsets it, has an upset win. Do you think he's going to celebrate? Does he deserve to celebrate hard? I think he does.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
No, but sure.
So you're telling me you wouldn't celebrate?
I'd celebrate the win. I wouldn't rub it in. I'd be like,
But I don't think he was
Yeah, but
rubbing it in.
you're following the footsteps of Jesus. You're humble.
no, but
You got to empathize with
I'm
the
not
people
humble.
that aren't humble.
I'm not humble. I've been humble. Like, if I'm in that situation, I've been humbled 3 times by this guy. Like, he's humbled me.
No, but he was respectful. It was just it's showmanship. I think it was more showmanship than anything. Like, you saw them out the back. They're like talking and they're homies and that. Like,
Yeah.
when Tom Hardy wins at competition and he puts his arms up, fuck yeah. I don't think he's having a dig at at people he's competing against. He's celebrating himself, his
Yeah.
win.
Have you not seen his "I'm number one" tattoo?
I'm number 1.
Does he have that?
No,
No, he doesn't.
I don't think Tom Hardy
Tom
doesn't have
Hardy.
an arrogant bone in his body.
He doesn't at
he
all.
Doesn't.
He's
He
too
doesn't.
humble. He's too humble.
He
Yeah.
is.
He actually is. He's such a nice guy. I love it when people see him lift for the first time. Like, they see him in the gym just walking, hey, bro, how are you? And they're like, what the fuck? That guy's so
Keeps-
strong.
Keeps laughing. Keeps. Oh, love
Very
the
nice guy.
Wait, I want to hear you two keep going at it.
Yeah.
Because I
okay.
reckon, so here's my take. I reckon CJ agrees with you, but he doesn't want to admit it. Like, I reckon he heard the powerlifting analogy and he's like, I can't beat that.
I don't know.
Like,
No.
because if Sebastian Orb celebrates that, none of us are going to go, oh, you lost 3 years in a row. Like, you shouldn't be celebrating as hard. We'd be like, fuck yeah. Like, he finally fucking did it.
Yeah,
He overcame adversity.
If it's just celebrating the win and being happy for yourself, sure. But if he's going to then laugh at Will Crozier's son and tease him for it, I'm like, oh, I don't know if you can really attack him personally
But
because that kid's dad whooped you 3 times.
No, but I don't think.
I don't know, bro.
I think as well that you're looking into it a little too deep. I think it was more so like because Izzy's known for being petty, so he's leaning into that a little bit.
Well, that's
more.
what I mean.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you're petty, that's what it's like. Don't be petty, but you can celebrate a win.
But Izzy, because Izzy and his son, they were cool. Like, so he did it. Like, let's say if you gave me shit or something and I do something to you, you're like, fuck, that's I think it's cool.
Okay.
I remember there was this
That's when they don't want to talk about it anymore, right?
Oh, I'm so like, well, okay. Well, I mean, there's no.
Yeah, it's not going
That's the
anywhere.
middle ground.
I remember
yeah.
there's this guy in the 125s that used to like be a podium, normally top of the podium at most 125 comps in Australia. And then when I started coaching people, I started coaching more and more people, and I got some really good 125 lifters. In the first comp, one of my lifters beat him. We beat him by 2.5 kilos. And he's like, yeah, he was talking. I remember distinctly him talking shit both in person and online about the fact that we only beat him by 2.5 kilos. And I remember thinking, oh, it must be hard being a loser. Like, who cares if we beat you by 500 kilos or 2.5 kilos?
Still beat you.
We got the trophy. We got the money.
Yeah.
You didn't get anything. The same thing. I remember doing it to someone else and beating them on body weight. And they're like, yeah, but it was a win on body weight. I'm like, oh, cool. What does the rule book say? We did that. We win. You lose. Oh, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
But we can wrap things up with a few would you rathers.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bring
So
it
like-
on.
Should we? Do we really want to let's go?
Yeah.
Go.
All right. First one's fucked up.
Of course.
Ooh, bring it on. Come on.
All right. To bring back a deceased loved one,
Buddy.
you have to make out with one of your siblings.
Oh, easy. Yeah, done.
And it goes live on Facebook and Instagram. And you're never allowed to say why you
I
did
knew
it.
you'd chuck that in there.
You got,
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So, Bridget, could you imagine you hooking up with Dylan?
No. I'm gonna say
sad.
I'm gonna say no, because when our loved ones go, it was their time to go, and they probably don't want to come back.
Yeah.
Like, it's completely selfish for us to bring them back,
Yeah.
Fair enough.
and I don't want to make out with Tim.
Tim's a funny bloke too. That's fair enough.
What about you?
Me?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll fucking make out with Jeffrey.
done.
He looks like me.
Who are you bringing back?
Oh, I'd love to. I've never met my lolo, so my Filipino granddad. But he was really loose. Like, he was a fucking alcoholic.
It's such a risk. What if you don't like him?
Well, everybody just told me the loosest stories about him. So I just want to meet him.
You're probably gonna like him.
Yeah, and like my mum always tells me, he wore a white singlet all the time, and he trained, so he's a little bit buff, and he thought he was short and stocky. And when I went to the Philippines for the first time when I was younger, everyone called me Umboy. So everyone's like, he's Umboy. That's so I'm like, fuck, I want to meet him. So I'd bring him back, but he'd probably just whoop my ass and be a piece of shit like he was to my family. So so my whole family probably gutted his back.
Oh. CJ, what are you doing?
Got it, he's back, and for some reason there's a viral video of you making out with your brother now, and you can't tell him why. Oh, why is our cousin doing this?
The other thing is, here's what you got to think about too. If you bring them back, do they come back as a baby? Do you get to choose what age they come back? Do they come back in the way that they died and then just die the next day? It's like, oh, I'm back. Oh, I got cancer. See ya.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know. Imagine that I bring back my Lolo and he comes back drunk, fucking angry. I'm like, fuck.
Because if you bring them back as a baby,
stories.
if you bring them back as a baby, you're not even going to get to know them for 30, 40 years.
That's true. That's very true.
Oh, move it.
Am I?
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that's just a bit loose.
All right.
I'm probably the same as Thomas. I probably wouldn't. I think it was a time. Well, the only person that I'm thinking of that I would bring back would be my grandma, but it was her time. So, yeah. And I don't really have a sibling to make out with.
Fair enough.
I volunteer as tribute.
All right, she's back tomorrow. She's back
Oh, wait, tomorrow we see CJ's grandma walk in.
Yeah. But she doesn't have a job anymore. Doesn't know why. We don't know why.
I'm going to bring up another would you rather. Would you rather? Fuck.
Far out.
Thomas, have you got a would you rather?
Oh, did you forget them?
No, I fucking deleted them before by
Oh,
mistake.
no.
Anyone?
No, I'm just
Nah.
laughing at the last one.
We'll leave it at...
I think that's enough.
That's enough, yeah.
All right, wrap it up, Gidge.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya. Thank you so much for listening to the ZeroW Podcast. If you want more information, head to our Instagram, @zero_weakness. Hit the link in the bio for all of our services and any information on upcoming workshops and events. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review so we can have a broader reach and answer more people's questions. Thank you once more.